Welcome to Heathen's Garage. On this episode, you're going to see this engine finally get installed, and we're going to try and start it without a tune. We are just currently fighting this thing through this spot. The engine is dangling by the crane, and we are ready to pull it off, put the rear cover on, and put a flex plate on. And we're gonna do that real fast now. Oh, no! Whatever, it was broken anyways. Well, it wasn't broken anyways. I broke it just now. As I'm sure you've noticed, I'm not big on spending money. This wishbone thing? You should replace those if you've got the engine out. They're just made out of plastic with an O-ring, like that's all there is. So if you got a chance to replace them, I'd sure replace that. Put a daub of silicone in this corner here. It's too hard for the seal to do its job there. Give it a little bit of assistance, you know. Got us a cover. We've slipped a new seal in here. You don't want to wreck the seal, that's for sure. I don't have a spare. This is proving to be more difficult than anticipated. Oh, there she goes. Okay, we did it. Oh, I forgot a gasket. What an idiot. No. Can I slip it in now? No. How could I be so foolish? Well, everything's got to be frustrating at some point in time, or nothing would be anything or something. These are not the right bolts. That's unfortunate. See, we got that in the first try. Definitely nothing went wrong on the initial go here. It's on, it's ready to go. Now folks, the next part might be kind of confusing. I had good buddy Kyle helping me, and this is how it went. Okay, easy, don't tear your stitches now.
Do you have a trouble light or something just so I can get some light this way?
Just before we go to pop this engine in, it occurred to me that on the way out, I broke a couple of the old motor mount bolts. So we're gonna weld on them and see if they'll come out. And if they won't come out, then I guess we won't worry about it. Let that cool off for a second. We'll try the other one. That's a copper washer. That won't weld good. Yeah, let's try that. Not working at all. We've got success on one of them anyways.
What size is that?
I think it's a 17 mil. It's either gonna come out this way or it's gonna break, so. It just needs heat and then suddenly it's really easy. Yeah. Like it didn't break off the weld on that last one. It actually just broke the stud again. Also, I don't know who at GM decided that red Loctite on motor mount bolts was a good idea. There's gotta be a better way.
Did you have your torch? Heat up that.
I ran out of oxygen. So we got this one out, and then this one we just sort of like there's not a hole there anymore, so you don't have to worry about him. It's fixed a different way. 5 out of 5 because there isn't a hole there anymore, so that's good. Now if you folks all want to stick around for about 2 minutes, we'll have an engine in. what has happened here is my engine crane does not go far enough to install this engine. Somehow I managed to get it out, but now everything's in the way. So we're doing some modifications and we'll be back with you shortly. Look at how pretty it is. I think I still regret the color choice. Now all we have to do is hook all the bits up and stuff, but since the engine install took about 3 hours longer than it should have, it might be a tomorrow job. We'll see. Sometimes I just point the camera at myself and start talking and don't know where it's like where I'm gonna end up or where I'm going. But anyways, the engine's in, so that's pretty cool. Now, it's not like the motor mounts are done up and we got like one transmission bolt done up just so we could, you know, stop working yesterday. Basically what I mean by that is we got a lot of work to do today. If I have to stretch this out over 3 or 4 days, so be it. I'll try and make it into one last video, because a 3-part engine out and rebuild and back in seems excessive, but I don't know, let me know in the comments if you would have rather seen it in one. Look at how good it looks! Isn't it pretty? Now the color doesn't look too bad. That hideous yellow insulation has to get a shot of black paint though. Oops, that's scary. Huh, okay. So first things first, I want to finish buttoning the transmission up to the engine. Right now the alignment pins are in, but there's only one lousy bolt holding the whole works together, so we're just going to button those up. I'm going to put bolts in there, and up top. Why is there a piston ring under here? The bolts that GM gives you, they're like a stud deal. And you need like 2 or 3 of them, but they put them everywhere. They're really annoying. So I'm eliminating as many of them as I can. Oh, why have I lost a washer? I sure wish I would have got new exhaust studs. That was right in my mouth. Let's get some light on the situation. Oh boy, that's bright. This extension here, they're worth their weight in gold. They got 1/2-inch drive and a locking 3/8 on the other side. They're a little bit pricey, but if you're doing lots of transmissions, I tell you, they are the hot ticket. You just pull it down, put it on there, and it's locked. And then, to top it off, you get one of these deep swivelly swavelies, and it's just so easy all of a sudden. Of course, since I put new bolts in, now everything's the wrong size, but that's a secondary matter. Well, hello, sir. How you doing, Elvis? How you doing, buddy? Hi, Luna Bear. How are you? Are you bored? Did you want to go for a walk? Yeah? Okay. You also hoping to go for a walk, Luna Bear? I just gotta do up like 4 bolts, dogs, and then we'll go. Okay. There we go. That's 1. 2. Ah, you jerk. That's good. I put one more extension on, maybe I can get onto it with my gun. Oh boy. What a nightmare. Oh yeah, I just pull it off, that's fine. Perfect. That's good now. I'm happy with that. Okay guys, we'll go for a walk. Is this the walk you were kind of hoping for? Where you just get to stand around and eat snow? How you doing, buddy? Are you ready to go back in the warmth? Elvis? Good dog. You having a good time? You got all dirty. The sun is out, and it is a beautiful day. It's pretty hard to work in that dark old barn today. We might get distracted. Alright, we are back at her. Nicely moving along at like a fast snail. So we're going to hook up the oil cooler now that we're under here. And here's a thing of actual, potentially useful advice to somebody. If you are putting in an engine, after you pulled out an engine that was grenaded, it's very wise to flush out that oil cooler, like back and forth and thoroughly. Or replace even. Because, like, the bits that, went through that oil could be stuck in that oil cooler, and then they're going to go through your engine again. And that's not ideal. Oh, I think I've left this cooler line in a bad place. It's stuck. That's not great. What's happened here? What's going on? I sort of squished my oil cooler line between the diff and the engine. Like, they're not squashed. They're just stuck. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This oil cooler line has really gotten out of hand here. Don't do whatever I did here. Because we got the engine mounts undone and the oil filter pulled off and the engine jacked up and it still is stuck between the oil pan and the differential. If there's a possibility to make a mess on your hand, oil will flow upwards and all over you. It will ignore gravity if it can make a mess. Did that work? Oh, I think I won! Alright! We won, guys! We won! It looks to me, if you zip tied the outlet of that line right to the top of your drive shaft, that's where you'd be happy with it when you installed. That's what I'd recommend doing. What a nightmare. Down to go, engine. Yeah, this hasn't been a very productive day, if we're honest. That'll happen on them big jobs, though. Just ran over all the bolts, didn't I? Since everything was going wrong, I kind of wanted an easy win. So I elected to do all the torque converter bolts, because that usually goes well. Before you tighten them all up, it is advisable to get them all started. Now, I know that means you got to turn the engine around 2 times, but I'll tell you, nothing more annoying than have to turn around 3 times because you tighten it up and then you can't get one of the bolts started. And then you got to go around and loosen it, and then you got to put it in, and then you still got to go around and tighten it also. You may as well just do the thing that I said earlier. We got 18 minutes till the big old football thing. We got a starter to get in, and we'll get the torque converter cover on. And I don't know if we'll get any more than that done. Does this torque converter cover help align the starter at all, or does it care? Anybody got an answer for that? I have a 13 mil down here. I bet I don't. Oh man. We're never gonna get it done in time. If I don't get this done in the next 2 days, we're gonna lose the barn. Nope. Wait, I have a day job. It's fine. I work for a living. This is just a hobby. Oh yeah, I remember this game. This wasn't that sweet. I remember this being awful. That's what I remember. Like it should have been easy. What are these lines doing here? How do we get around them? I should have put this in and then put the starter in, I think. What a hack! Why is everything so hard for me? I wonder about my own intelligence. Whatever I'm trying to do is making it worse. Oh boy, do I have a torn CV boot. That'll have to go on the list of future Ethan problems. You're committed to this truck now, Ethan. You may as well fix it all. Can you get out of the way for a minute? Okay, we're getting closer here. We must be. Yeah. That looks... I've done something. It's so close to fitting. Why won't you go? Hey, we got it! Hey! Now, we need approximately 6 bolts. If we put them all in, we need 6. If we don't put them all in, then we need less than 6. Ah! Attacked! I was attacked! Starter, and then sports ball. Oh no, this is not the time to have lost the starter ball. Ah! I was attacked again. Hey, that's that. We're gonna go watch a football game. We'll see you tomorrow. Howdy. It's the next day, and we're working underneath still. I brought the doggos because they were bored. Now they're bored, but in here with me. So, you know, misery loves company. Want a shake? Oh, that was very good. Yeah, good dog. So we're working on the exhaust now. Like, we really should have changed the studs that hold the pipes on there, but like we didn't. So now we suffer. That's all there is to it. First of all, we gotta get the old gasket out. Oh, yeah, just like that. It just, I fought with it for like 4 minutes off camera, and then it just fell out. See these? These are the flange gaskets. They're great. They're better than they used to be in the old days. Are you guys having a scrap over there? What are you doing? We only fight on Saturdays. Cut it out. Now, for nuts, we should really replace them, but we've got the old ones, so that's what we're using. Oh boy, that one's... We're not going to use that old one. These are really bad. These must have been hard to get off. I don't remember. Well, hello, Elvis. Yeah, that was very nice. I still got a little fight left in me. I suppose worse things have happened to better people. Headway has been made. We have... I don't know if this is going to show up any good. Oh, I just ran my tube over. I'm not going to say the exhaust turned out perfect. It's got 3 old nuts that are 15 mil head on this side, and it's got 3 new nuts that are 17 mil head on this side, but it's just, they're bolted on. Their job isn't to be the specific size. Their job is just to hold the exhaust on. So hopefully they'll do that. Hello, Luna Bear. How are you? Were you sniffing, Moody? Well, the good news is, I think I got all the boring stuff underneath done. At least, all the stuff that's worth doing. She's pretty much ready to come back down, and we can do the top stuff, which is also not that interesting. Dogs, are all clear? Everybody out of the way! Okay, we're coming down. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm running out of steam here. Got no propane left, the dogs are bored. I think my wife got home, so I'll see you tomorrow. What you doing? Hi, you want some pets? Open for pets? Good morning. Ran out of propane yesterday, and I'm still not supposed to pick up heavy things, so we're just gonna get this unloaded. It's sort of just, yeah, like that. We are scary close to being like ready to start this thing. We gotta put an intake manifold on. We gotta do up some hoses and some electrical connections, charge a battery, and then we're gonna try and start this thing. Let's get after it. I told you guys I was not a fan of spring clamps, and we bought a whole kit of gear clamps. I think they were $8 from Amazon. I don't know if they're any good. They're not exactly made in North America, but well, they're really good at putting tape on it, so they must be good. Yeah, look at all those. Look, it's got a qualified certificate. Inspection number 11. They don't look big enough. They just broke. Go back on there. These gear clamps feel a little bit on the not great quality side. Goodbye, spring clamp. Goodbye, spring clamp. These gear clamps feel suspiciously metric. Which, like, the truck's metric, so I guess that makes sense. But it's annoying to me in this instant. You know, when I ripped the crotch out of my favorite blue jeans this morning, at first I was kind of mad. And then I realized that's one less bad thing that's going to happen today. And on the day that you're starting an engine for the first time after rebuilding it yourself in a barn, it's good not to have too many more bad things that are going to happen that day. So I'm kind of grateful I tore my favorite blue jeans open today. That's all the hoses done already. Oh, except the top one. Let's get an intake manifold on. We're getting so close. Oh yeah, that looks better when it's clean. I'm glad I washed it. Except I hope I didn't wreck my injectors. This has to live over here. This has to live over here. That's got to live there, but this has to be under the injectors. Just force it, Heathen. If you can't figure out how to do it right, just force it in there. I'm sure this won't break in the cold. Plastic never breaks when it's brittle and cold. There is a very specific torque number for these intake manifolds because they're plastic. So you should always make sure to do them to that. I don't know what that number is, and I'm not going to, but like you should, make sure you remind me before I hook the battery up to put oil and a filter in it. In we go! If you're gonna be awful to me, well, there's nothing I can do about it anyway, so I may as well just get over it, right? Why is this bolt not started? I don't have any of these even tight yet. Okay, it's a little tight. Back them all off a little bit, I guess. I don't know how all of them except one started. They're not tight, they're just like finger tight. It feels like it's exactly where it wants to be. But for some reason, it's just being the worst. I took the bolt out and moved it to the front, and it works fine in there. I don't want to pull it off again, I just want to put it on. Oh, sad. It doesn't even feel like it's dropping into its hole. Oh, it's probably not dropped into its hole. Give it a tappy tap. There we go. Ha, ha, see? It wasn't dropped into its hole, just like I said. I knew that right from the start. Before I get too carried away, plugging in all the injectors and the coil and stuff, we're going to put oil and a filter in this thing, and we're going to spin the engine over for a while and see if we can get some oil pressure to read. I don't know if the gauge cluster or not works without it starting. Like, I don't. We might not see it on the gauge, but I at least want to give it an opportunity to pump some oil around. What is this nonsense? Other side. Why is this routed so weird? And we're even putting in, courtesy of my dear wife, AC Delco deck school. Does anybody know what capacity is supposed to be on a cooling system in a 3/4 ton? It's running out on the ground, so that's good. Now, for oil, we're going to use a blend of some break-in oil we have left over and some regular old bulk 530. What a mess already. Tripped it right onto the manifold. According to my book, break-in oil is not intrinsically required, but like I just sort of, I don't know, I think it's a good idea, so I'm going to use it and like hang them if they don't like it. It's my engine. Besides, this says high performance racing oil. Don't spill any, it's expensive. This is it. It's got fluids in it, wires hooked up, and hoses hooked up. We have everything except the injectors and the coils hooked up. We're gonna spin it over, see if we get some oil pressure, and it's like go time. Here we go. Have ignition, turn that off. We have this one. We care about this one right here. We want to see it go up, but I don't know if it will. Let's see if it spins. Okay, we're gonna let it charge up for a minute or two. And we'll try again and see if we can get some. Now we're gonna do the same thing again, where we let the starter cool off and the battery charge, and we'll try and get oil pressure. Like I say, I don't know if this gauge actually works when you're cranking, so I'm not gonna be that upset if it doesn't show up, but we'll see. It is making me a little nervous, but, you know, if we have to start it to see oil pressure, then I guess that's what we'll do. I just noticed I also have no RPM flicker when it's charging, so I'm thinking the gauges don't work. That means it's time to plug some injectors and coils in and see if we win. It might be about to start if I haven't missed anything important. Here we go! Look here, we got oil pressure! Woo! Wow, look at that oil pressure. Like, the exhaust is awful on this thing, but I'll give you the idea of the rumble that it'll have someday when I put exhaust on it. Okay, folks, you heard it run. That'll be the end of this episode of Heathen's Garage. Come back next time. We're gonna try and figure out how to put a tune in it and test drive it, I guess. Thanks for sticking around. Bye. You're a good dog. Yeah. Did you know that your bottom is now on camera?
Did that make you shy?